Good morning everyone. Students, as you know, in previous class we have started classification of business activity. This business activity we had divided in two parts, industry and commerce, and we have completed industry. Now we will proceed with commerce. But before proceeding, let me clear your doubt. Maybe a few of you have a little doubt. Industry. Students, industry is a place where we produce or process the goods and services, right? It's not only the goods where we are producing services also. And because of this reason, because we are producing services, so certain services are also a part of the industry. You might have listened about the film industry, right? So here we are generating the entertainment, so we have given the name industry. So in the same way, we can see our banking, transportation, warehousing, all these services, these are providing, the service industry, they are providing services to the industries in the different way. It is providing services to them. That is why we call them tertiary industry, or you can say the service industry. Understood, students? So this industry is generating service, producing services. That's why we have given the name industry. All right, now we will proceed with commerce. You know, commerce, it's a wide term again, which is including trade and auxiliary to the trade, right? Commerce is a wider term. I have just told you while doing the accountancy, trade is what? Where we are purchasing or procuring the goods and services for selling. Okay, so that is called trade. So commerce is not only including a purchase and sale, it is including services also. Fine, that is called auxiliaries to the trade. So it's telling here, commerce is a wide term consisting of all those activities which are necessary for sale, transfer or exchange of the goods and services, right? It's not only including sale and purchase, but certain other activities which helps in selling and purchasing, right? That is also a part of the commerce. So it's aimed to ensure supply of goods at the right place, in the right quantity and in the right time, right? This is your commerce. Students, when you need your books and copies in the month of April, you need it right now and it's not available, and somebody provides you after 2 months. So is there any use of that? It means, I'm just quoting this example, the reason ki when you need something, so you want that thing at that moment. If one is sick and he needs medicine, right, and that time you don't provide him medicines or medical facility, and you just provide after 1 month, so there is no use of that. Okay, so that is the work of the commerce, to provide the right goods in the right quantity and at the right time, right? Now commerce ensures free and smooth exchange of removing various hindrances. Students, we have so many obstacles in the way of the business, so this commerce removes those hindrances. Fine, here it's telling like the hindrances may be person, place, time, risk, finance and information. Okay, and these services, service sector, like person, your entrepreneur removes the hindrance of the person. Place, like you have manufactured the goods at one place, but the goods are not consumed at that place only, right? This is consumed by the different people at the different places. So the hindrance of place is, I mean, this obstacle is removed by the transportation system, right? You just carry goods from one place to another. And in the same way, time, there is a time gap between the production and consumption, so your warehouse removes this hindrance. Risk factor is involved like anything in your business. Fine, so insurance company removes this hindrance. Your finance problem is removed by the banks. And information problem means you have produced something, but if your customers are not aware about it, so that problem is removed by the advertisement. Fine, so here classification of commerce, I've told you this is classified in two parts. One is trade and another one is auxiliaries to the trade. So we have studied about the trade, means purchasing or procuring the goods and selling it out is called trade. But we further classify this trade in two parts. Trade is classified in two parts. First one is your internal trade and another one is your external trade, or you can say foreign trade. Fine, so internal trade, as its name is telling, inside the country. Internal trade means it's taking place under the territory of your company, geographical boundaries of the country. Fine. So this is called home trade also. And students, this internal trade is classified in two parts. Again, internal trade is classified in two parts, that is wholesale trade and retail trade. I think you are familiar with these terms. Wholesale trade is that trade where you buy the goods in bulk quantity from the manufacturer or from the supplier, you can say. Supplier means that fellow is called dealer, you can say. Manufacturer or dealer. Okay, a wholesaler buys in heavy quantity from those one and supply it to retailers in small quantity, right? And the wholesaler gets very less margin, but he's dealing in the bulk quantity, so overall profits will be more. Next is your retail trade. As I have told you, retail trade means these retailers or retail trade buy goods from the wholesaler in small lots and sell it to the customers directly in the quantity which is required by the customers, right? And here the retailer keeps more margin, but he sells less number of goods. Okay, so his overall profit, definitely this will be less than wholesaler. Wholesaler deals in heavy quantity, but retailer deals in small quantity. Fine. So here this was your trade. Which trade? Internal trade, which is done inside the boundaries of the country. And this is your external or foreign trade. External trade means which you do beyond the territories of your country. Okay, outside of the country. Minimum 2 countries are involved in that. That is called your external trade, right? Well, external trade is further classified in 3 parts. First one is your export, second import, and third one is entry port. Now what is export? Might be familiar with this term. Ex and im. Ex means outside. When you are selling your goods, I mean from your country to any other country, that is called export. You are selling. Just remember, wherever you sell your goods to another countryman, that is export. Okay. And import, when you are buying something, you are purchasing something from another country, so that is your import. All right. Now entry port is that trade, I mean where both the things are taking place. Here you are purchasing from some another country to sell it to another one. Means you are the mediator, right? You are getting from A, country is A, you are getting from country A and you are selling to country B. All right. So here you have purchased, means you have imported the goods. What for you have imported? To export somebody, right? You have imported and then you have exported. So this kind of business is called entry port. All right, or you can say re-export trade. Fine students, so here we have completed this trade portion. I just repeat, classification of commerce. We divide in 2 parts, trade or auxiliaries to the trade. And trade is further classified in 2 parts, that is internal trade and external. Internal is classified in 2 parts, that is wholesale trade and retail trade. And external trade is divided in 3 parts, that is export, import and entry port. All right. Now auxiliaries to the trade is the same one which we have discussed in the previous lecture, that is helping units, auxiliaries or aids to trade, helping units. You know, it's not possible to do trade without this service industry or this auxiliaries. Fine. Well, just to repeat, transportation and communication. Students, is that, just imagine you are doing business, production work is going on in your industry. So where do we get the raw material from? It's not available on the spot wherever you are producing. We have to get it from the different areas, right? Where the mines are there, the petroleum is extracted. So it takes some vehicle or some source it requires to get the things from that particular area. And after production, you have to send this to the customers, consumers. So how this will go, right? So transportation is very important. It's not possible to do your business without transportation. Now banking and finance. Banking and finance. Students, this is the time. It's not the previous time where the business was done on a very small level. This is the time where you are doing on the credit basis, and you are taking loan from the banks. Overdrafts has been conducted, and bill of exchange has been accepted, and bank is providing a hell lot of services. It's collecting your check, it is depositing the check, and so many other services it's giving. So not possible at all for the business to deal with the customers or in this area without the help of banking and finance, which is available by the banks. Next one is your insurance. Well, today's time is full of risk. Fire may break out, right? Some losses can be due to theft and accident, and certain other kind of things can be there. So that can be a huge loss to the business if daily they are coming across with one or more kind of risk. So insurance removes this problem, and we have many kind of insurances because our business is having many kinds. So we have general insurance, we have fire insurance, marine insurance is there, so which deals in the various kind and factors of the risk. Fine. Now warehousing, well, I have already told you that there is a time gap between the production and consumption. So when you produce the items, you must have seen manufacturing dates. If you didn't see, just today you should take a few products in your hand and just check. The date will be mentioned, manufacturing date and expiry date, right? And best before. Okay, so manufacturing date is the time when you have manufactured it, and expiry date, you know better. We can use this product within that time period. So by the time where these goods are kept, suppose you have produced some item and it is not purchased by somebody, right? So we have to keep the goods safe and secure, because still there is a time to use these products. These are not expired. Long time is there. Okay, so warehousing is providing a very vital role in the business environment. Advertising, very, very important. As I have already quoted, your product is best prices are there, best material has been used by you, everything is fine. But by the time customers are not aware about your product, so they won't buy. And by the time you don't sell it out and you don't realize the value from the customers, so your business won't survive, right? It is must to sell out the goods and have the margin, have the profits for surviving. Okay, so advertising, this is the media where you advertise your product, where you communicate the masses to the consumers that this product is available, right? So this is very important. So all these are important. Business can't survive without their help. So we call them helping units, auxiliary units, or tertiary industry also we call that. Fine, students. So here we have completed your classification of commerce, and in fact we have completed this business activities, right, students? So I have seen that you have prepared this chart, but you should cram also. Learn this chart properly, its classification and all the contents. Generally this comes in your exam. 5 to 6 marks it contains. The whole chart I give in exam, right? Thank you so much, students. And besides written work, you must learn also. Thank you.